there, Jim here. Something a little different this time around. I was browsing through the flyers that came in, and I noticed this item from Canadian Tire, which is a staple up here in Canada. And you can see it's a tripod-based work light. It's 2200 lumens, which seems pretty good. And you notice that the light itself is a 3-petal design, which I thought looked pretty funky, pretty futuristic, not the same sort of thing that you see everywhere. 2200 lumens, and it also has a stand. And this was all on sale for 65% off. Canadian Tire is known for having fantastic discounts, I guess. I guess they're designed to be discounted, probably. But this one looked really appealing. Its regular price is $230. And at 65% off, I think I paid something like $78, $79. And I've heard that they go on sale for 70% off as well, so they might be even a little cheaper. So I thought I'd get a pair of these. I've already opened one up, so I kind of have some idea of what it looks like, but I thought let's have a look and see what's in the box. Okay, pretty basic box here. You can see inside we've got some instructions. The tripod, sort of a little foam protector so that the plastic collar doesn't get smashed around. Look at the tripod more in a minute. We have a power brick that provides a USB output. We've got a power cord, and what's interesting is it's USB-C at one end and USB-A at the other end. And I think that the charging cord was probably supposed to come in that box. And down in the box we have another box, so maybe I should do this a little differently. See me struggling with the boxes. Here we have the box, wrapped in plastic. MotoMaster worklight. It's got, these are rubber. I don't know if you can tell that. So the back central piece is supposed to be a metallic aluminum, probably for heat dissipation. And then they're surrounded by rubber, which is good in case you bump into anything. And the whole unit kind of seems to feel more like a power tool, like a power drill. So there it is, all unwrapped. And so this head pivots like that, and then these blades will pivot, as you can see, and I think they'll pivot 90 degrees. So I'm not exactly sure why you'd want to do that, but it can help you a little bit to angle them. But the basic idea for the unit is you can pivot it up and down like that. Now, let's look around on the back. Zoom in here a little so we can see what's going on. It's going to be a little bit tricky. So you can see there's a power switch up here. You can see the symbol is sort of etched into the plastic. And then we've got a plug area down here. You can see that'll accommodate the USB-C charging, and a USB-A output, so you can use, I suppose, the batteries in here to charge something else. And then there's a, I don't know if you can make it out here, but there's a plus symbol here and a minus symbol there to change the light settings. Now, this is out of the box for the first time. They all do come with a residual charge before they're shipped. So you can see that's come on. And the light moves, it's not just 2 levels, light has a lot of levels. And when you reach the end of the range, whether at the top or the bottom, it flickers. So it's quite a bright unit, fairly simple, not a lot of controls, on, off, up and down. And then the unit can be handheld, which is, it's not too heavy. And last thing that we want to see here in the bottom of the unit, so you can see there's the threading there for the stand, and then there's also a hook here, so you can, if you're not planning to put it on the stand, you can hang it from a hook or something. And that's pretty durable, so metal's not flexing on that hook at all, so it's very stable. And then at some point we'll have to one of the things I'll be doing is I will open it up to show you what's on the inside and the batteries. It's supposed to be a lithium-ion pack. So, fairly neat little unit there. So, of course, the most interesting thing for me was, of course, the light unit. But and I have to say that at the price I bought it for, I could imagine just the batteries and the lights going for that price. But you also get the tripod. Of course, the tripod is in the not too shabby, let's say modernized Canadian Tire colors. So just go a little wider here. So the tripod is made out of aluminum, and of course the threads here, if we zoom in, threads are pretty coarse, which means we should get some good longevity out of them. The tubes are aluminum, but the collars are plastic. So one of the concerns there might be the long-term longevity, but there's you can see the screws there. The nut, there's a metal nut there, which means that we won't be wearing on the plastic itself. So we're just using the plastic to create the friction on the tube. So that's pretty good. With stands like this, only time will tell. But let's set the stand up and see what it looks like. Okay, so the way the stand is designed, the base that you see here, that's always going to sit on the ground. This piece here doesn't move, so it stays at the bottom of one tube. And then this collar, it'll slide up and down. And then there's this other tube here, which will go up and down. So they're essentially these 2 tubes. Now, one of the nice things about the center tube is there is a stopper that will prevent you from pulling the tube all the way out. The stand feels pretty solid, I'd say. One thing, this isn't a photography sort of type light stand, and so what that means is once you loosen it, this is just going to come crashing down. And of course, these days modern photography light stands would have air cushioning or spring cushioning to prevent this clunk that happens when it hits the bottom. But in terms of adjustment, there's these two knobs then. One here and the one there that can be used to adjust the unit. Now the height of the unit is really going to be dictated pretty much because the base is always going to sit on the ground, the positioning of the legs is really aimed at determining how much stability you're going to want in terms of the spread. So the total height of the unit is just going to be based on the two tubes. So it would be about twice the height. So I'm going to set it up with the light head on top at its full extension, and I'll give you a shot of what that looks like. Okay, and there you can see the unit that's fully extended. You get the bonus of having a dryer beside it to give you a little bit of sense of scale. And if we look in here, you can see, I'll say I do think it looks a little odd the way that the base mounts on the tripod, but got to put the battery somewhere, and of course the battery pack is enclosed and sealed, so you can't replace the battery pack, at least not easily. And the other thing I'll mention is that I thought at first it is a little weird having to kind of screw this big unit onto the tripod, but because the threads are so coarse and large, it was actually pretty easy to do. So that's what the whole unit looks like. And that's, like I said, that's fully extended. So that would be pretty good. I'll give you, in the overlay text of the video, I'll let you know what the fully extended height is, both of the tripod and to the tip of the very top blade or pedal there. All right, now let's look at the charging electronics parts. So there's a little charger that comes with the unit, and you can zoom in here. And I think you can make out that this is has an output of 5 volts and an unbelievable 2000 milliamps. But we'll, I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe we'll put that to the test if I have a 2000 milliamp load. And the good news is it's UL certified, so that's good. Always good to know. And of course there's a nice little cord here, which is handy. And then if we look at the back of the unit itself, we can see that there are 4 2000 milliamp hour batteries inside, and that means that we have a total of 8,000 milliamp hours of capacity, which is nothing to sneeze at. And overall, the 3 lights at maximum put out a total of 2200 lumens. So pretty bright unit. So now let's just have a look at the charging, which is pretty obvious. But we've got this, oops, USB-C end here. And we can flip this up. You can see the USB-C there. And a little tricky to do this one-handed, but that's what things are like around here. And of course, if that rubber piece would stay up, it would be far easier to do it one-handed, but most of you won't be troubled by that. And when we get it plugged in, you can see there's a red light down there. And when fully charged, that red light, I can confirm, it does turn green. And that's all there is to that. So it does take a fairly long time to charge. I will say that. I had to leave the other unit pretty much overnight the first time. All right, well, this wouldn't be a very good tech review if we didn't have a look at what's inside. So the unit has 6 screws located here, 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 and here. And I've pre-loosened them, so let's see if the bottom plate just comes off here. So well, give me a minute to struggle with this off camera. Well, it turns out that actually they've given me a very handy handle that I can use to take the base off. So that's come off, and we can see that the screws go flying, and there seems to be some sort of a battery compartment here, and the lights themselves are hooked up with this wire. So let's take that apart. Okay, so standard connectors there. And I doubt there's anything in there other than the controls. So I'm guessing that everything that we're really interested in is in here. So that's interesting. And so there's 4 screws that hold that part down. So let's have a look at that. And of course, this is come off the back. You can see there's something might go there. Perhaps that's a sort of tie-down point that they might use for an AC line, if an AC line were coming in there. But then, of course, you probably need some kind of a transformer unit inside to power the lights. So let's see what we've got in here. Of course, these are all self-tapping screws. These screws aren't really meant to go in and out very often. Okay, now that comes off, and voila, a single battery pack all kind of molded together, a little bit of tape to hold it in place. And what's interesting here, if you can see this, This says that it's 18650. The tape gets a little bit in the way, but 4 times 3.7 volts times 2000 milliamp hours. So, now I've done it. Oh, that'll be fine, I guess. So essentially, let's zoom in on that. Essentially, this is the battery pack for the unit. So you can see that there's nothing super complicated here. So the batteries could be replaced if they were to die. Very easy to do, actually. I guess if you're able to work it out right, since it's not too complicated, you could probably even put more capacity in here. So, very nice. So, I mean, not the absolute simplest thing, but I'm sure that these battery packages are probably not all that hard to come by on AliExpress or eBay or something like that. So there you have it. So I'm going to put this back together. Don't need to watch the entire process. That just went in there. A little bit of a rubber gasket here. Let's, yeah. And there we go. So, and I'll put the screws back in. I'm sure you're not interested in watching me do all that. So, very nice unit. And of course, that also means that since the lights just have this plug here, and they're fed by 3.7 volts, and this panel comes out of the back quite easily, I imagine that it wouldn't be all that hard to hook up some alternate power supply to these lights if that was something that you wanted to do. And on top of that, the most of this unit, as you can see underneath, this is screwed on, and so these are probably separate moldings, and so you'd be able to remove this whole battery pack unit and power the light in a different way if you're interested in modding that, which I just may do. But once again, this is really intended for mounting. You know, so you have to, if you didn't want to mount it on the stand or hang it up anymore, you could do that. But it does also open up the possibility, even if you just want to change the supply here, you could supply this, could attach this like so, and then well, that doesn't maybe look all that nice, but you can access the unit, put that back, and you could power it off of the household mains if you really wanted to. So there you have it. The Mastercraft 3-pedal worklight, or I should say MotoMaster, one of the Mastercraft brands. And yeah, I would say overall I'm pretty happy with this item. I like the modern look, modern, clean, LED. Everything is great. The only thing that's a little bit awkward, like I said, is the battery pack for the unit. But other than that, no other concerns. So let's give a final closing shot. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you like these sorts of videos.